Good evening.
Good.
This is March 2nd, 2021, in the open meeting of the Board of Assessors for the town of Newbury. It is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. Wow, we are just 10 days away from that 1 year mark. Due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised, directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirements of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For this meeting, the Board of Assessors is convening by Zoom meeting, which has been posted on our agenda, and you can join our meeting by following the link on the Zoom ID. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video. We were provided by Mr. Jason Stasipio, our principal assessor, the materials that we needed for tonight. And we have reviewed them, and we will be moving on them as we move forward this evening. If there are anybody else that joins the meeting, please wait to be called upon. I will hand over management of this meeting to Jason as soon as I get through reading about the public comment. There'll be a time for you to do that as well. And if you're familiar with the Zoom platform, you can raise your hand. We'll follow the agenda as provided, but do know that some things come up unexpectedly. So therefore, we will use it as a guideline. And I will now hand the meeting over to Mr. Jason DeCipio.
Thank you, Chairman. This evening, we have just a few agenda items. We will be convening tonight into executive session to discuss property abatements at the end of the meeting. And that is the only items that we will need to convene for into executive session. When we convene, we will not be reconvening in public session. And let me go through the agenda items. The first item is the meeting minutes from our February 2nd open session. And I know that you've received those. And if you approve those, looking for a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Seconded.
Wonderful.
All in favor? Aye.
On page 3 of your agenda items, this is actually a correspondence a little bit out of place. It has just been, the town has been notified. You know, it was sent to the chair of the select board that the Eva Jackman, a trustee of the 68 Green Street Realty Trust, has given notice of intent to sell the parcel at 68 Green Street. However, it doesn't say whether it's going to be converted or a change of use is going to happen, though I anticipate that that is really just omitted and that's what their intention is. So there will be a rollback tax at some point.
Okay.
But that's really just giving us notice.
I'd say it's implied by the fact that we got anything that's probably happening.
Right, I'm making that assumption, but again, it doesn't say that. However, I'm sure she could sell it as a farm or as one parcel is being used. So. On page 4, this is actually in an abatement notice, in a non-traditional abatement notice. This is for an erroneous tax that was actually done through an error in our accounting software, our billing software, which is SoftWrite. We used it maintains some interest due on an account that actually wasn't due. It's already been split up between the condos. So really, this is just to notify the accountant that this amount needs to be abated, though not through the overlay, but as a receipts against the, you know, these funds. And just this is how we're giving her notice. And looking for you to approve these or to accept these.
I would move that we accept these as presented by Principal Assessor.
Wonderful.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes.
Yeah.
On the next page, which is page 5 of your documents, this is the overview of the abatements that we did, the 6 different packets that you will see the subsequent pages of, and I will just review this one page, and then you can, the other pages would have to, this whole thing being accepted. So, and these are for motor vehicle, boat, farm, personal property, and real estate statutory exemptions. Looking, these have already been vetted, and looking to a motion to approve these abatements and exemptions as presented.
Make a motion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We accept these 6 packets as presented. You want to second them, Sandy?
I think he tried to. I think we had a little internet issue. Sandy, if we could
got
just
a
get,
little internet issue.
if we could just get a thumbs up or a verbal yes that you were okay with accepting the minutes as the exemption.
He's not moving. He's not moving yet. Remember how we said he didn't have power? He hadn't lost power yet?
There he's
you
back.
are.
He's back. Sandy had it out.
Can you hear us now, Sandy?
Yeah, but it's kind of going in and out, and it freezes
so
on me.
I made a motion that we accept the 6 packets as accepted. Can you second it? Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And so all in favor, aye? Done.
Yeah, gotta be quick.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is.
So that brings us through how many pages, Jason?
So that I'm on the last page, which is page 14, which is the addendum to the contract for Patriot Properties to perform the valuation study on the 504 utilities, the new Department of Revenue requirement. And that was just really the contract that I needed one signature on. But if we want to take a motion to accept the contract.
And this is for the state required study, correct?
Yes, the Department of Revenue is now requiring all municipalities with 504 classified utilities to do a valuation study annually.
Okay, so we'll do this now, but we'll also be doing this moving forward.
I anticipate that, yes, because the only study that we have on this, or the only information we have is the communities that did it last year. They're making them do it again. Whether or not they're going to change their methodology or what they require us to do in future years is yet to be seen. But we are only the second round of people needing to have this study done. So
okay, I move that we accept the proposal for Patriot to handle that part for us.
Yeah, that's the $5,000 proposal to.
yes.
Yeah. Yep, I second that.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
So that is it for our public session. And if we, let me just read, was the board will now convene into executive session under exemption clause 7 under chapter 39, section 23B under Mass General Law, and will not reconvene to public session after.
Correct.
All right. End of meeting, 6:14. Thank you. All right.
Excellent.
1 second. Let me shut the recording off.